Hello everyone, it's Outrider here and welcome to another week in toys. Today is Monday the 7th of November and I've got a parcel that's come today, which is awesome. And I actually went to my favourite place, well I say it's my favourite, it used to be favourite place, Burnt-upon-Trent. They've got a load of toy shops there, they've got a TK Maxx, a Toy Master, an Entertainer, a Game, all of these decent places now where we can pick up toys as massive adult nerds. And yeah, I actually found something that I saw the last time I was there in TK Maxx, but it had been reduced. It is Revenge of the Fallen Scavenger, and this was £18. So it was originally £34, reduced to £27, now reduced to £18, and they had about 4 or 5 of these. Part of me wanted to wait a little bit longer until I go back there next time, but then I thought, you know what, this is cheaper than a deluxe for a leader figure, so I'll pick it up. Yeah, and I do quite like this. It's such a strange figure. The transformation, even though the instructions are crap, and I actually watched Prime versus Prime saying it was a difficult transformation, it's really not. And I'm not the biggest fan of movie bot transformations at all, but it's alright. I've flicked it backwards and forwards a few times. It's got a very, very odd robot mode, which I might show you later on in the video when I've transformed it. But yeah, it's alright. It's alright for 18 quid for a leader figure. Now, the question is now, do I get the rest of them and make Devastator? There's 8 in this set. And I think the answer to that will be yes, but over time. And I might not get the official ones. There's apparently some knockoffs that you can get on AliExpress for like £8-9 each. So I might pick up a few of those and like see what they're like. I definitely want to pick up the long haul. But I'm not going to get any of those until after I've been to Rowlett Railcore the weekend, because who knows, I might find one there or something like that for me to pick up. I'm in no rush, despite what Shooty says. I'm in no rush of picking these up, so you know what. It was fun for 18 quid anyway, and you know what, it was cheap as chips. So even if I don't get any more, it was cool, and I've had a muck about with it, so pretty awesome. Nice little find. They also had Mutant Tigertron there, and they had Bumblebee Movie Thrust as well. I think Thrust was £16, Tigertron was £20. I've got Thrust, not interested in the Tigertron. Nothing really in Toy Master though, I have to say, nothing new. Just some Stranger Things stuff, which was pretty cool to see. The Stranger Things and Turtles crossover there, both of those. Bizarre things, look good, but not for 40 quid. But anyway, here is the parcel, and this is an item I bought from Robot Recruits on eBay. I think you'll guess what this is, because I said I was going to buy it a couple of weeks ago, and I missed out on the bids. Now, ironically enough, just after I bought this, Comics and Cocktails put the same items in sale for like £1 less or something, but I don't mind, because Robot Recruits are really good guys anyway. Check them out on the website, they have some great deals. But yeah, this is a figure that I bought one of before and I had to get the other one. It is a Super 7 figure, as you can see, and you can see it is Bombshell. And what's Bombshell famous for? He becomes Cyclonus. Everyone knows that Bombshell becomes Cyclonus. Gonna get some slack in the comments now. So here is the lovely box of Bombshell. I think actually on Comics and Cocktails you can get all of Wave 1 for under 100 quid posted, which is an amazing deal now. But I was only interested, I wasn't interested in the Prime, not really, not interested in the Starscream, but I was interested in the Bombshell, because this is another Action Master. I got Banzai-tron the other week. And yeah, I really wanted to get this one. This one I think actually comes with more. You can see it comes with his original toy gun, the gun that came with the original figure. Another 2 sets of hands here, and obviously the 2 on there, and you get his Action Master partner as well, which I believe he can actually wear on his back. This figure, it's got a little tiny scuff on it, little tiny scuff on the shoulder, which is a shame, but it's nothing too bad. I mean, I can touch up that paint anyway. But I love the look of these figures, because they're essentially just oversized Action Masters with a bit more articulation. The rest of the figures I can take or leave, because they didn't have this aesthetic, but the Action Master ones work really well on these figures. So yeah, you've got his tech specs on the back there. I'll turn it around so you can see. Yeah. And it's cool, pretty awesome. I was going to stick this one for Christmas, but I'm not going to bother now because there's probably another 300 things that Hasbro are going to release between now and Christmas. So today is Saturday the 12th of November, and I have received a couple of parcels this week. One's come today and one came early in the week from Comics and Cocktails. I have opened it up. I couldn't wait and I didn't have time to film it, opening up on that, but it is Victory Universe Galaxy Shuttle, which is awesome. Yeah, this is one of the ones that came out of the blue and it's been shipped really quickly. I actually put this order in the same day as that G1 repaint Animation Colours Hot Rod went in as part of the same order. And the good thing about Comics and Cocktails is if you do order them as part of one order, they will ship them individually because shipping is in the price of the item. And you can see Galaxy Shuttle there on the back, who actually turns into a train as well, because this is of course the Astro Train mould from Siege. And I have opened him up, and here he is. I've got him in the base mode, which is probably my favourite because I love how a little bit of change of colour here has given this a countdown homage, which I think is really, really cool. It's a lovely little figure, this. I mean, it's got the same problems as Astro Train. The train is a little bit wide and chunky and hench. The shuttle has a bit of a gap going on here, so maybe I would have liked an extra accessory to clip over that. But all in all, it's a lovely, lovely figure, and this Astro Train mould was pretty good. The strange thing is, it comes with a lot of red guns, and I don't know why, unless that is also a countdown homage, because parts of that accessories were red. But yeah, it's a lovely figure. I've got it on the stand here. But it's a cool little shuttle. I'll try and put a few pictures up of robot mode, and I am going to do a short on this. I've started to film it, so keep an eye out for that one. But yeah, Galaxy Shuttle here, a little cheeky purchase. And it's nice when you pre-order something, you haven't got to wait months and months and months. A bit like Siege Wave 3, which... Siege Wave 3? Not Siege, what is it now? Legacy Wave 3. It's taking forever. And yeah, it's just frustrating. But speaking of which, I have got another Legacy figure. This came from Hasbro Pulse, and my mate James gave me a little hack with this. He told me, obviously on Hasbro Pulse, unless you remember, you need to pay for postage unless it's over 40 quid, unless you're a Pulse membership. But James told me if you put in an order for over £40, they'll ship them individually. So I put this to the test. I pre-ordered Wave 1 of Legacy Evolution, the figures that I hadn't pre-ordered, and I popped this figure in there as well because I wanted it, but I didn't want to pay the postage on it. And lo and behold, a couple of weeks later, they charged me for it, no extra postage. So there's a little hack there on Hasbro Pulse, which I'm sure they'll resolve at some point, but there we go. So let's open them up, and it's a big old box for what it is, because it's just a little bomb burst here. So yeah, I wanted this, and I know I said that the core class I'm not really going to go in for, but him and Rumble, they're like their own moulds. I quite like to go on as a figure as well, and I do like Bomb Burst. I do like the Pretender shell of that. So I thought, well, why not? Why not pick it up? I'm not too keen on the smaller G1 characters because I think they're a little bit trash, to be honest. But he looks quite good. And as I say, Rumble was quite good, who came out as well. So yeah, I thought I'd pick up Bomb Burst. Today's Tuesday, the 15th of November. And yeah, Roll Call was Sunday. It was a load of fun, a great day. Really, really enjoyed it. Me and James headed down. Well, I left about 6 to get to James's. We got there at about 10 o'clock, so it was about a 4-hour trip for me, a 3-hour from James's. And I think I ended up getting back about 8 o'clock at night, so not too bad. But it was a great fun day. Loads more stores there than last year. I think there was only about 3, maybe 4 stores last year. There was probably about 8, I want to say. Now, a lot of it was G.I. Joe stuff, and I felt a bit bad because I didn't buy anything from all the cool stuff. But yeah, it was a good day. Not as many people there last year that I knew, which was a bit, I suppose, disappointing is probably the wrong word, but it was a bit gutting because last year there was a bit more of a social feel. Myself, James, Brad Excelli and XLR, Smuzno, Dave was there, which was awesome to see, and Dave and his posable nipples were there being all posable. And Rohan had a stall as well, which was pretty cool. Always good to see Mr. Rohan. But yeah, it was awesome. It was a good day, and I spent more than I wanted to. And as always with these events, you go there with, oh, I'd like to find this or I'd like to find that. And me and James were chatting away in the car, and I got none of the stuff I was talking about. I got stuff I didn't even think of. So there we go. But yeah, first item I bought, I'd been in the room for about 5 minutes and I was 15 quid down already. But I picked up this. It's sealed. I've never actually seen this before. It's a Transformers Prime Dark Energon Knockout, and it's a transparent plastic green colour. This mould is quite a nice mould actually. It's dated a little bit now, but it was a pretty decent mould back in the day. And yeah, I never knew that they did a version of this in this deck out. I knew that they did the Beast Hunters one and the original one, which I think I've got both of. No, I've just got the original one. But yeah, I picked up this for 15 quid. I don't know if I'm going to open it or not, to be honest with you. So then, probably the best store there, no offence to anyone, but the best store with the most reasonable prices, I thought, were these guys, the Yeti Cave Toys. There's the contact details. They do loads of G1 parts. And all that kind of stuff, and he says like drop him a message, drop him an email, and he will be able to probably source some stuff. And he's got an eBay store, but yeah, he says he can do them if you contact him directly at a cheaper price, which is awesome. And they were really sound on there. They were open to offers, and it was really great. And I spotted this guy on there. I've got a version of this mould, but never picked up this one. It's the Armada Megatron from, I think it was Combiner Wars. They had him marked up as 20 quid. He's in pretty decent nick. It's just missing the missile. But when I mentioned the missile was missing, he went, well, make me an offer on it. So there was a little box of Minicons on there as well. So I picked up a few Minicons and he went, oh, I'll just call it 20 quid for the lot, which was awesome. And the Minicons were meant to be 3 for a fiver. So I picked up, I think this is part of the Sky Boom Shield. I don't know whether I've got this one. I might already have it, but I want to try and get like the Sky Boom Shield and the Star Saber again. So I picked up that. I picked up this, which is part of the Star Saber, but is this a Dark Saber, the Dark Energon version? I don't know, but I picked up that one, and I just picked up this little 4x4 thing just to get through. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I know we're getting a new version of this, but it's probably not going to be to the tail end of next year. And this mould is good anyway. It was a really, really good Megatron mould. So yeah, awesome. Really happy to pick that up. After a couple of laps, I went round again. They had these two big boxes of on the same store. They had these two massive boxes of Transformers, and the guys on Yeti Cave Toys were saying, we only know G1, we don't know any of the new stuff. And I was going through and I was going, well, that bit goes to that bit. They even give me a big box of bits, and I rummaged through and I found some bits for the stuff that was on the store. But anyway, my mate James, he found some awesome stuff in there. He got a Energon Rhodobus, just missing the weapon. He got a Prowl from Animated, and I found the weapon for it. And he also got the front trailer front cab to Energon Optimus, and for a tenner for the three of them, so it was awesome. I only found 2 things on there that I wanted to get, and they said, just give us a fiver for them. The first one is an abomination, right? I thought this was a bit odd, but I love it. So this is a combination of Costco Overload and Armada Optimus, Ultra Magnus, and Dave Dave called this, Dave Shotton has said I should call this Ultra Load, so I am going to call this Ultra Load. But yeah, it's basically the Armada Ultra Magnus mould, which was on another store for 60 quid, with some parts swapped out with a Costco exclusive. So these yellow bits here, these yellow bits, and obviously the robot, the front part, are all part of another figure. And it's a right chunky, big chunky mess of a figure. But £2.50 that essentially was. So I was just like, you know what, for that I'm going to go back. It's awesome, and so I thought I'll pick it up for, I say 4 quid, there were 4 quid for one, or then let me have 2 for a fiver, so say it was £2.50. The other thing I picked up from in there was this Energon Scorponok, which I thought was in better nick than it actually is. Basically one of the shoulder joints here is completely broken and like falls off completely, as you can see, and he's missing a foot. But luckily Mr. Shotton has said, well, I've got a Junker Scorponok, and it seems to be, from the photographs, I'll be able to make a virtually complete one without the Cyberplanet key or the missiles. I think it's coming with missiles. But you know what? Awesome. I've got the black. Is it Black Zarak version of this? But it was actually broken. So what I might try and do as well is find that figure out, and I think one of these arm pieces were broken. Just replace that over, maybe paint it black and restore that one, because I did a temporary fix with it. But yeah, these two were a £5, and yeah, there's bits missing, but I thought that was an awesome price, absolutely awesome. And I love Ultra Loud here, he's class. Another figure I picked up, and this is probably, there were two things that I kind of regret picking up, and not because of the figures, but, well, one of them because I don't actually quite like the figure, but the other one is because it wasn't as complete as I thought it was. I picked up Crumple Zone here. He was £20, and I thought he was just missing his Cyberplanet key, but unfortunately he's missing his missiles as well, and he was really grubby and not in the best condition. But again, Mr. Shotton's got a jumper of him, so I'm going to try and just restore him a little bit. He's a really nice figure, and I'm happy I have got Crumple Zone. Just £20 feels a little bit much for what I paid for him in the condition he's in, but I might be wrong. I don't know about Cybertron stuff and how much it's worth. But yeah, I picked up Crumple Zone. He is a cool figure. As I say, I'm just a bit disappointed because I thought he was more complete. And they had, I think on another store they had a box sealed one for £35, I think it was. So I kind of wish I'd just gone for that one, but I didn't notice it till after. But anyway, so I picked up that, which was awesome. Then from Rohan, I picked up this little fella. This is a G1 Micromaster, and this is the only one I need for this set. I actually don't need the whole figure. I need this part. I just need the cockpit section. So what I'm going to do is have a look at the one I've got from a kid and just try and patch this together, because these arms are a little bit loose. Maybe I'll just remove this part and make a better version one. But yeah, Rowan let me have that for £3, which I thought was awesome. A little Micromaster. It's always nice to get some G1 stuff, so I picked up him. Rohan was sharing a store with a chap called Sam, who's actually a subscriber. So all right, Sam. He was a top bloke, lovely guy, and he did me an amazing figure on a amazing price. On a masterpiece figure. He was transforming DX9 DeWalt, the Blitzwing. Oh, I forgot how big that figure was, but he was having a load of time showing it to Rohan. So he sold me this Transistor, which is a masterpiece blaster for £60. He gave me a tenner off it, which was awesome. Now, it didn't come with Rewind, which is a shame, but he wanted to keep Rewind. But I thought for £60, he's another movie-esque bot, isn't he? He's in Transformers the movie. And it's weird, because from an Autobot point of view, I don't class a Wheeljack and Sunstreaker, and to be honest, even the Dinobots, and that's a weird one, as movie bots as such, because they're in the G1 series before. But Blaster and Preceptor I do, and I think it's just because of that scene where they're fighting the cassettes. But yeah, this is a lovely figure. He's the right balance to me of cartoon aesthetic and masterpiece detail. Like the top part here is very much Cartoon Blaster, and the head is Cartoon Blaster, but I like the silver in the legs and the detailing. It's the right balance for me. It's not super cartoon aesthetic. I really like it. I was a little bit disappointed at first when I got him out of the box because the arms were pretty loose, but fair play to KFC. They put a little screwdriver in there. I took the arms apart, tightened the joints. He's right as rain now, so I think they've just gone loose over time. But he's wonderful, so thank you, Sam. He's a lovely, lovely addition to... and I'm not really a masterpiece collector anymore, but this is just one of those things where there is a gap in my collection for a masterpiece blaster. He is part of the movie bots, and yeah, it would have been nice to have the cassettes, but it's just nice to have a blaster. So cheers, Sam. Cheers for watching. Lovely to meet you, top bloke, and thanks for the amazing deal on the amazing figure. The final thing I picked up was something that, to be honest, I wish I hadn't bothered with. It was more of an impulse buy at the end. So it is Energon Slugslinger. I picked up this just because I've never experienced the mould before. I don't know if it's a partial of the Shark Decon. It feels like it could be. But here it is. Here, and yeah, it's just not very good. It doesn't hold together very well, and yeah, I'm not a fan of it. As Brad said, it's an interesting mould, and I give it that. It is interesting, but it doesn't hold together very well, and yeah, I think he might be one going on the eBay pile. As always happens when I go to these conventions, it happened at TFN, it happened at Roll Call last year. I always buy the odd thing that actually I don't really want, and I think he's one of those things I don't really want. But I've got the packaging. He was only 15 quid. I should easily make that back. It's got all the stuff with him and everything. So, yeah, bit of a miss on that one. A little bit of a miss on Crumple Zone, but all in all, it picked up some amazing stuff, didn't I? I got Oliver a Pokemon as well from all the cool stuff over the road because that shop was open. It was a little bit disappointing though that there was an amazing pub we went last year and they weren't serving food, so we had to go into this like Green King one that didn't do Green King food. Still had a cool burger, but it was just like the food wasn't quite there. There was a little coffee and bakery shop that was open last year that wasn't open, and I think it was because of all the Remembrance Day stuff that was going on, which is fine and fair enough. But I think it took a little bit away from the day, and I think we were done by about 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, half 2, we headed back, and that was it. But it was good. I mean, I enjoyed it. Will I go next year? I'm not sure. I think it all depends on if a lot more people go. But it was a good event, and I enjoyed it. And there's loads more coming up. There's the NEC Toy Fair, there's the Stafford Toy Fair coming up at the beginning of December. Then next year we've got TF UK, we've got the Minicon for TF Nation as well. So there's all these great opportunities for us together as fans, which is awesome. But I think this has been a pretty decent week in toys, don't you? So new stuff coming through the post, Galaxy Shuttle, Bomb Burst, and then a little cheeky convention at the end to spend more money that I haven't got at this time of year, which is never good, but anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed this week in toys. Until next time, I've been Zort Rider, and I'll catch you again really, really soon.